You don't need to know how to code in order for you to build a successful software company. Some of the biggest tech founders out there never wrote a single line of code. Yet there is a wrong way to do this and the right way. So today I'll be explaining you exactly how to build your own software company as a non-technical founder and grow it to a full-out business in the right way. Because here at Fullscale we believe entrepreneurs shape the world. You might be wondering, why should I even listen to this guy? And I don't blame you, but let me give you a quick backstory. My name is Renaar, and for the last couple of months I've been working on my own educational software platform helping young entrepreneurs. I average around 10 hours every day working on my project. That means I've spent thousands of hours figuring out exactly how to go from a non-technical founder to leading my own development team, who are, by the way, the backbone of my company, so shout out to them. Throughout my weekly vlogs, I've documented this entire process, showing you exactly how I get from writing on a paper to using no-code tools to eventually leading my own development team. I've made mistakes, learned a lot, and made more mistakes, but I'm here for you guys to summarize everything I learned in the last couple of months in this one video. So if you're struggling to start your own software company as a non-technical founder, I'm here to help. Maybe if you're a businessman or a technical founder, let's connect in the comments. Maybe you find your co-founder here. But besides that, let's get started in the video. Most people don't start or get stuck because they think they need this big budget and a big team. And I thought the same. When I first started out, I thought I need thousands of euros and an engineering team and developers. But in reality, you don't. The only thing you need is a phone and a laptop and some curiosity. Because the first step in building your own business is validating, making sure that people are willing to pay for it, that the problem you're trying to solve is big enough for a potential product market fit. And if not, don't even bother building your product. So the first step isn't development at all. It's actually just talking to your target audience, asking questions to see if the problem you're trying to fix is even big enough. After you've talked with people in your target audience, you can start creating an MVP. And maybe you're scared now saying, wow, an MVP, now I have to build something, but I have no idea. What if I told you that you could create your entire platform with a one AI prompt for basically nothing? Would you want to try it? Of course. Well, no more excuses, because Bolt.new, it's not sponsored, I've used it myself. Bolt.new is just a great platform to get started out, and created the first MVP for Fullscale from scratch with one AI prompt, and it worked as a charm. The second step is still not development, it's actually own the problem, not the idea. When I first started out, I had these big ideas and dreams trying to solve problems in industries I was not familiar in. And every time I tried putting those ventures into reality, I got stuck because of my lack of knowledge, contact, network, and basically skill sets. That's when I realized I should look closer to myself. Instead of picking the biggest niche with the most profit margins and trying to solve something in an industry you have no idea about, talk to yourself, think about it. What problems do I run into? What problems can I solve for myself? And do other people maybe run into these problems as well? Being your own target audience is a superpower other people won't have. You can ask questions to yourself. You can probably ask people in your direct network to help validate. And besides that, you know what to build in order to fix the problem. So don't leave that superpower on the table, use it. Oh yeah, PS, if you don't know exactly what problem to solve, please don't rush it. There's no shame in taking some time, going over it, writing down some options, and slowly develop the exact problem and how to solve it. Then step 3, we are finally in development, build with no code. As I already said, Bolt.new is a great option. But you have many more out there like Zapier, Webflow, and Bubble. These are great no-code tools in order for you to build your first MVP from scratch without any technical background. You can also use landing pages, Typeforms, and surveys in order to collect more user data and to test more. Because entrepreneurship isn't about just going all in and seeing where you will end up. It's actually about testing, listening, improving, and iterating based on the feedback you collect from beta users, early users, people in your target audience, everyone around you. Because your first idea is not going to be your last. And if you're still not convinced, take for example Dropbox. They use a referral system to go from 5,000 users to 75,000 users overnight using just a simple landing page before they launched. Landing pages nowadays are so easy to create. You can use all sorts of tools like Hostinger, like Wix Studios. I mean, there are countless to point out to. Then step 4, and maybe something you already thought about yourself, but you cannot manage to do it, and it's fully understandable, but that would be find technical co-founder. And if you cannot find it, just keep on looking. All the successful non-technical founders had one thing in common. They were all great recruiters. They are really good at finding talent or create a vision so compelling people want to be part of it. And if you have no idea how to find a co-founder or people as motivated as you, there's just one very simple solution that worked for me as a charm. Start getting your mission, your vision, your face, and your story out there as much as possible. And this might be scary, but I'm telling you, start making content. For me, content was a game changer. Even with 327 subscribers, I've managed to grow my entire team from scratch based on people who watch my videos, people who accidentally stumbled upon my websites. But I just got my face and my story out there and people were interested. I've had countless of job offers, countless of people wanting to join the vision and mission, and even people who are willing to work for free because they just really truly believe in the mission, vision, core values, or just like me. Imagine you have found the people that are willing to work with you on this vision. Please don't forget one thing. Your role now is to be a manager, to keep people on the work, but also make it fun for people. So I have 3 very important tips for you to be a good manager. Offer them adventure, not just a job. Building a startup is a commitment of your energy, time, and long-term vision. You need to offer people an adventure. They want to be down for the adventure, to go with you and build something that never existed before, or create your own empire from scratch. And that's not a job. That is truly an adventure. So be very clear about that. Don't be scared to give out equity where needed. Sometimes people need equity in order to be more motivated on the project. Some people don't, but don't be scared to give out some equity. And the amount of equity you should share, well, that's quite simple. Don't negotiate and try to cheap out on the equity you give out. Actually come up with a number that you feel like that could motivate the co-founder or someone work on the project as much as possible. Because motivation brings you somewhere. Negotiating in the early stages, not really. And then the last step, maybe the most important one, is building together. Collaborate, think together, grow together, don't dictate. Once you have a developer or a small development team, management is going to be extremely important. But how are you going to do this in a correct way? Because I've seen non-technical founders getting absolutely lost here, and I've seen myself almost getting lost in this part as well. Was it not for my great back-end front-end developer keeping me sharp. There are 3 core things you must learn as a non-technical founder when you try to manage a development team. Number 1, source code management, Git, GitHub, where does your code live? Number 2, continuous integration deployment, also known as CI/CD. Here you make sure your product evolves efficiently. And then the last one, and also super important, is agile development and sprints. Take bigger goals, break them down in weekly sprints, break those weekly sprints down into hourly tasks. This way developers know which tasks to do in which days, in which order, and to be motivated to finish tasks in that time frame. When you just give someone a big vision with one big end goal for a month, they will get lost in the amount of works. Your role is to be a project manager and break down those tasks in actionable steps and discuss them with your developers. If you have a bit more budget, you can look into hiring a technical advisor to oversee the quality of your product, because a second opinion may save you thousands of mistakes. And then the last, and maybe the most important one, is execution and growth matters more than code. Many startups don't fail because they had a non-technical founder. They fail because they just built something that no one really wanted. You as a non-technical founder need to be obsessed with acquiring customers, getting feedback, and improving fast while your team develops. You should focus on 3 key elements. Number 1, distribution and customer acquisition. How do people find you? How do you reach people? And how are you going to convert those people from potential leads to paying customers? Number 2 is sales and partnerships. Can you get money before scaling? Can you get in contact with venture capitals? Can you get in contact with universities? Try to find as many partnerships as possible that are valuable to you. Make sure though, this is a golden tip, that the partnership you're looking into is perfectly aligned within your brand. Don't go outside of your brand just for a partnership, because that might hurt you on the long term. And then number 3, maybe the most important one, is customer feedback loops. Are you actually solving a problem people are willing to pay for? And if you are, you will iterate and improve based on the customer feedback you gather from your beta users, your early users, and even later on in your development. Because at the end of the day, a great business will beat great code. So if I could summarize everything, you just have to remember that being a non-technical founder isn't a disadvantage. It's actually an opportunity if you focus on the right things and take the right steps. If you focus on your product, brand, and distribution, you can build something massive, even as a non-technical founder. Drop a comment down below if you're looking for a technical co-founder, because here at Fosco we believe that entrepreneurs shape the world. Ciao.